one of the most discussed questions right now in DMOs is, will tourist information offices still exist in the future? And if so, will they be the way they are today, or will they change? Because city tourism is increasing worldwide, but the numbers of people going to tourist information offices are decreasing quite quickly. So DMOs have to react on these facts. And the challenge is how to cope with this situation of decreasing numbers of tourists in tourist offices. At the moment, there are two main approaches to this. One is to provide only digital information, because some people, some cities say still tourist given information is the most important work in the tourist office. The time most of the people spend at the tourist offices is not buying anything, it's giving information or wanting to have information. So some cities, they say, okay, we go on delivering information, but only online. And they provide this digital access to information via tools and like apps, social media, website for smartphones and tablets, quickly and very flexibly, but they will not be present at all in a physical way, just like the city of Aarhus in Denmark is doing right now. And another approach is to invest in the traditional tourist information instead of the decrease in figures, to invest in the tourist information office by making the tourist information office more attractive to younger people, to the digital people, because the traditional customers of the tourist offices are dying slowly out because people are digital, you know that. So I think I saw a friend. So they invest in fancy designed shops. They try to create landmarks in the city, like the city of Dublin does, or the city of Madrid has done. Amsterdam is doing something like that in order to attract more visitors and also in order to sell more things. They want to convey a cool and modern image of the city. And provide the tourist offices which use screens for promotion videos, with tablets for the customer. Let's call this tourist information office the analog tourist information office. But the interesting thing is to check how these two approaches really meet the needs of the touristic customer. In order to get the answer, we have to look at the needs of the touristic customers as I see them. First of all, the tourist wants to invest as less time as possible in planning. The tourists want to enjoy their holidays instead of running around looking for a tourist information office to find it, to stand in a queue. They don't want to spend much time in Googling for information and matching it into their timing. Also, more and more tourists don't plan at all before they're going on a trip. They just want to go with the flow and say what the city is, just has been said here, to feel like a local. Also, they want to stay spontaneous and flexible during their trip, to change their plans spontaneously. And a further need is to have independent information from place and time. That's very important. Tourists have a tremendous need for individual tips and personalized tips. It's more and more important than site collection is right now smelling, listening, feeling a city. People want to feel like locals. It has just been said here. Tourists want to feel like locals and not like tourists. This is why they look for these specific tips which actually really fit into their needs. That really hidden places, and not the list of 10 hidden places in internet which everybody can see. And last but not least, they want to have personal contact with locals, and real empathic and human connection at the destination. So if we look at the two before mentioned tourist offices, the digital tourist office and the analog tourist office, in which way can these two approaches satisfy the customer's needs? Let's have a look first at the digital tourist office. If you use a digital tourist office, means only having tourist information online, the client has to invest actually a considerable amount of time in reading all the information, having the information right, planning and timing his trip, and it's not really a time saver. But a tourist can he can stay spontaneous and flexible during his trip because he has a lot of information online and tools just right on his mobile. And of course, he can have this information independent from time and place. This is the biggest information of a digital tourist information office, being available at any time and any place. When it comes to having real individual and personalized tips, I would say in a digital tourist office, it is possible, but it has its limits, because it depends on the tools, of course, the digital tourist information provides, and an app can always map the list of your interests through the offer they have, but it's cannot really be personalized like a tourist would wish to have it. Not all the hidden information is available in internet. Imagine a situation, you are in a city and there's a mega event, but you don't want to go. You actually hate it, you want to avoid it, you want to go around. So how to find out what you can do instead in order to avoid the problematic situation you're in the city and still enjoy your holidays? This is something an app cannot easily provide. And of course also the personal contact is not there. It's practically not existent. You can have already artificial intelligence, and it's something they will provide in Asian countries very soon, artificial intelligence in tourist offices, something like an avatar speaking with a human voice, for example, or reading your facial expression. But I'm really sure that at least in Europe, in European countries, this will not be a big success. So in the near future, it will not be possible to give the customer a feeling of real personal contact with avatars, even if your computer repeats your name 10 times. Let's have a look at the analog tourist information office. How does it work? Do you need less time for planning? Yes, because one good thing about the analog tourist information is that the tourist officer does all the job. You just go there and the tourist officer does the planning, the timing for you. Also, if I work with tourist offices, I always tell them, you are first of all the timekeeper for the people. They are really lost in the city. They can find all the spots and places, but maybe they are living here, they want to go to a restaurant here and to a museum there. Maybe you change their trip. You have to help them. And this is also something an app cannot easily provide. But as in a tourist office, in a traditional analog tourist office, you can just relax and let yourself surprise by the service of the ticket office. The problem is you cannot remain spontaneous and flexible while traveling. This is, of course, not possible with this kind of tourist information. You cannot get more information out of a spontaneous idea because you have to go back there, and that's not really nice. That's a big disadvantage. And you can also not have independent information from place and time. You depend on opening hours, you need to bother to get there, invest your time and find the place and so on. The bigger the city, the more troublesome it gets for the tourist. If the customer needs information later, he needs to go back and to the tourist office, and that's definitely a no-go. And it is not just about being uncool for young people, it's definitely not customer friendly. We have to face that. And generally, in my opinion, the concept of a tourist information office as an attraction in a city where the tourist makes a pilgrimage to see it because it's such a fancy place, that has no future. I don't believe in that. regardless how modern, space and fancy it is, whether it has huge screen for promotion videos or tablets for the visitors, this will not work. The people who have tablets, they use them and don't go there, or they just don't want to use them, they want the service. So I don't see the point in it. But a real strength, of course, of a tourist office in an analog way is you can provide real, individual and personalized tips. Because if tourists go to a tourist office, they ask, of course, random questions, and you can tell them, okay, there are 3 types of restaurants in this area you could choose. And the people say, but where would you go? What would you choose? What would you recommend to me? They want these personalized tips. And this is something which gets more and more important, not just having the standards, but really having the personalized ideas of the officers in the tourist information office. The tourist officers can help to find them the real special places and give them unique experiences. And of course, there's a personal contact. This is the biggest advantage, as I think, because you get the feeling that you're important, that the destination has a real interest in you. And only real people can create real emotions about a destination. Only with personal contact, there's empathy, there's storytelling, and there is real customer retention. I think this is a very important point. So, if you look at it, neither the tourist office in a digital way, nor the so-called analog tourist office has a solution for all the needs of the customer. The ideal would actually be to check all these boxes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be great if we would have a tourist office which can satisfy all these needs. Based on my experience working with tourist information offices and DMOs all over Europe and extensive discussions on these kind of topics, the answer is what I call a virtual tourist office. A virtual tourist office, as I imagine it, is you have your smartphone or your tablet, you press a button, and the real person pops up, just like in Skype. You have a lot of tools doing that. A real person pops up, a Casey or a John speaking to you in real time, live, with real feelings, real emotions, and it gives you the feeling that you are there. And you can have that independent from the moment where you are and what time it is. This is the plan. You get your personal contact person, a friend who escorts you, who is there for you when you need it, and who is a real service supplier who does the job for you so you can save time. So providing information and service as a combination of human empathy only real people can give, and location-independent information using digital tools. Because, of course, your friend should know about all the available tools and apps. I think also it's crucial, this is why I spoke about this Skype tool, I think it's crucial to see people. Because the more and more you are into, as a tourist, you are into this jungle of overload of information. You try to find a way out and have somebody speaking to you, because we all think it's shorter if we speak to somebody, especially we women believe it's shorter in time if we ask people. And not running around. Sometimes I run through the city, my GPS is not properly working. Yeah, it's actually a very bad feeling. So I ask people. This is what we do. We want to speak to people and we want to meet them in their proper places. And the people going to tourist offices, they still think that there are locals sitting. Yeah? Real locals, and they have an idea what I can do. This is what I know from the people working there. So I think it's crucial to see the people. If you look at the virtual tourist office, oops, where are we? Okay, I will go back, good. If you look at the virtual tourist office, let's see if this office can provide a solution regarding the questions we had. If you use a virtual tourist information office, yes, I think you will invest less time for planning. Maybe you wait for a recall or you wait some time on the line, but you can actually save time because you get your personalized information very quickly and very detailed. Because the tourist officer is playing the leading role to give you the best service. His job is to pull the strings and save your time, so you need less time for planning. The more spontaneous people travel, the more they are looking for personal assistance. Most people don't have time for planning before they go on their trip, because you have an overkill of work to do before you go on your trip, and you have no time to get your information. So it is very important to have your information at the spot. And I could imagine using this tool in case you get lost, or in case you're saying, okay, you told me to go here. I'm always getting lost, by the way. This is why I'm talking about that. You can say, okay, Casey, I'm here now. Could you tell me where to go next? What's your idea about it? Yeah? And really go through the city from place to place, having the feeling you have a real friend with you. Or also if you are sick of being online all the time. You spend so much time I was actually, yesterday I was in Lisbon with my mom traveling, and she was always saying, you're always on your phone looking for information. Can't you stop it and talk to me? I said, yes, but I need to know where to go next. So I could have called and spoke to the person. That would be much nicer. And if you can, of course, stay independent from place and time. With the tourist information office, you carry with you. And this tourist information can also not only give information, they can, of course, sell tickets and provide other kind of services, so you can earn money with it. But it should be available everywhere, so you can carry it with you. And if it comes to individual tips and personalized tips, and if the tourist officer does a good job, that's what I assume, because I train them, I work with them. So he knows exactly how to find out what the customer wants, even before the customer needs it by himself. That's a fact. They have a lot of experience. And they can provide, the tourist officer can provide his personal favors for the tourists. This cute little bakery at the end of this street, you know, not the one everybody goes, the one behind where they have the real croissants, there are only locals going there. This is kind of an authentic tip. This is what people really like. And, of course, you have the pleasure of the personal contact. From my job working with the tourist officer, I know about their tremendous know-how about customer needs, because they speak to them daily and personally. They give them specific info with a real personal touch. They laugh together, they joke together. People come back to say thank you. That's still a fact. And you always, as a tourist, you feel in good hands. So if we look at the main approaches here and the questions we have, we can see that both the digital TIC and the analog TIC, they have both disadvantages and advantages, but they cannot meet all the needs of the tourists. I propose the concept of a virtual tourist information, speaking to real people live. That is what I think is the future of the tourist office. So if we think of the questions I had in the beginning, will there still be a need for a tourist office in the future? My answer is yes. And on the question, will it look like it looks today? Then my answer is definitely no. But the virtual TIC with live information will look and work differently, but it combines human empathy with all technical possibilities, and it's a great chance for the tourist informations in the future. Thank you very much.